Ms. Chaturvedi, you've been very vocal on social media and otherwise as well. Would you reckon that earlier on, not many political parties had actually spoken openly about it because it is a political hot potato in a state which is going into election, communally charged. Some of you have spoken out. Would you think enough pressure would be built for the Gujarat government to maybe now revoke the remission policy? Do you have faith in them or no?
So, firstly, I would like to thank you, Preeti, for carrying on this entire conversation that happened with Bilkis Bano and how these convicted rapists have been given remission and are now out and have been celebrated within the society that they're coming from. That is extremely unfortunate. I'm hopeful that the state government will relook into how it went about blatantly, brazenly denying justice to a woman. I keep my politics aside, keep our biases aside, keep our religion aside, caste identities aside. This is a gender issue. And if you cannot tell every single woman of this country that they have a law and order mechanism, they have a judiciary, they have a state government mechanism which will keep them safe and in case, God forbid, something goes wrong, will ensure justice is done to them, has totally been denied to Bilkis Bano. And this is the beginning of ending of justice for women who face such crimes. And I would continue to say that yes, I think her husband at a point is right, that they fought this long and hard battle from 2002 to 2008 conviction. And they were living in peace. And for them to be denied this peace all of a sudden under some special remission in a panel dominated by Bharatiya Janata Party, and also going on to justify why they've gone and done this, is extremely unfortunate. This should be for the state government and I would say even the Supreme Court to take suo motu action and ensure that every single girl in this country sleeps peacefully in the faith of its judicial system, of its political system, and of its democracy and constitutional to prevail. That is all I'd want to say here.
I want to cut across to Deshratan Nigam. Mr. Nigam, you know, I've been hearing you on social media, I've been hearing you on other channels as well, and you have put up a spirited defense, if I may say, if I may add that word, of the courts and the due course of law. But when we actually look deeper into it, the whole facade that the Supreme Court decided. The fact is, Mr. Nigam, the Supreme Court didn't quite decide. The Supreme Court mandated the government of Gujarat to decide, which set up a committee which had 4 BJP members on board on that committee, and that committee unanimously decided to give remission, to let them walk free under the remission policy of the government. They could have said no. The option lay with them. It wasn't the court's decision.
Yes, it wasn't a court decision and I have not been defending it. So far as my sentiments are there, it goes with the panel. However, there is a legal position. As a lawyer, I have to tell your viewers the legal position. Supreme Court did direct that under 1992 policy, the appropriate government, which is the Gujarat government, should decide on the issue. They have taken a decision and nobody has seen the file. Yes, prima facie, it might give a suspicion that there is a bulk order. But I believe individual files must have been seen, the conduct of the each individual must have been seen, prison records must have been seen, because this is the way remission is done. And personally, as long as the law exists, and now the government has passed an order under the directions of the Supreme Court, the only course available is judicial review. And that is also with the High Court. That is the first court of judicial review, and that is where anybody can go. And yes, the government has the power to decide. Whether they have decided arbitrarily or not is a question to be seen, and that can be borne from the record, which I am not privy to it. And if it is proven that it is arbitrary, then certainly it can be set aside. If it is not, then it can be upheld. Now forget about this particular case. Remission has been done in large number of cases by state governments all over India, and as long as this law exists of remission, and although there are certain guidelines, but they are merely guidelines. These amendments have to come in the Act, whether it is CRPC or IPC or in the Constitution itself. The exceptions have to be carved out. Mere guidelines will not work. And therefore, take the example of Rajiv Gandhi's murder case, where large number of people died in a bomb blast, including Rajiv Gandhi. Death sentence was given and it was commuted to life sentence. And later the Supreme Court, set them free. And similarly, I don't approve of that also. Similarly, the people who have been convicted in the Godhra train, where 59 car sevaks were burnt alive, they should also not be, never released on remission. Similarly, the present case that we are discussing, under the law, they have been done, but we require a change in the law so that such kind of, remissions does not take place. One has to send a very clear example. Very clear
Preeti,
example has to be done.